Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Asmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Atpalam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Twameva Mata Cha Pita Twameva Twameva Bandhuscha Sakha Twameva Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So where are we in our text?
Chapter 31, the bottom of page 112.
Do you have it, Aditi, or shall I have Howard read it?
I have it.
Okay. Give her the text to make sure that the pagination is the same.
You said we were at the bottom of 112, right?
Yeah, I believe so. That's your pagination.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, questioner. One second.
And I shall come to it through mere attention.
Oh, yes, questioner. And I shall come to it through mere attention? Maharaj, do not value attention. It also means interest and love. To know, to do, to discover, or to create, you must give your heart to it, which means attention. All blessings flow from it. Questioner, you advise us to concentrate on I am. Is this too a form of attention? Maharaj, what else? Give your undivided attention to the most important thing in your life, yourself. Of your personal universe, you are the center. Without knowing the center, what else can you know? Questioner, but how can I know myself? To know myself, I must be away from myself. But what is away from myself cannot be myself. So it looks as though I cannot know myself, only what I take to be myself.
Ooh, did you all get that? Fabulous question. So his assumption is that there's a knower and a known. And if I'm going to know myself, then I must be away from myself. Myself is an object. So that's the question. And in fact, all we can ever know are qualities of the bodies, the equipment, characteristics of the body, characteristics of the mind and the intellect. And listen carefully, this karta, this sense of agency, this jiva bhavana, this feeling that I'm a person, is also an object of cognition. The self is never an object, yet it is not unknown. So let's see what Maharaj says about it. Going on.
Maharaj, quite right. Just as you cannot see your face, only its reflection in the mirror, so can you know only your image reflected in the stainless mirror of pure awareness. Questioner, how am I to get such a stainless mirror? Maharaj, obviously by removing stains. See the stains and remove them. The ancient teaching is fully valid. Questioner, what is seeing and what is removing? Maharaj, the nature of the perfect mirror is such that you cannot see it. Whatever you can see is bound to be a stain. Turn away from it, give it up, know it as unwanted. Questioner, all perceivables, are they stains? Maharaj, all are stains. Questioner, the entire world is a stain. Maharaj, yes, it is. Questioner, how awful. So the universe is of no value? Maharaj, it is of tremendous value. By going beyond it, you realize yourself. Questioner, but why did it come into being in the first place? Maharaj, you will know when it ends. Questioner, will it end? Maharaj, yes, for you. Questioner, when did it begin? Maharaj, now. Questioner, when will it end? Maharaj, now. Questioner, it does not end now. Maharaj, you don't let it. Questioner, I want to let it. Maharaj, you don't. All your life is connected with it. Your past and future, your desires and fears, all have their roots in the world. Without the world, where are you and who are you? Questioner, but that is exactly what I came to find out. Maharaj, and I am telling you exactly this. Find a foothold beyond, and all will be clear and easy. And that's the end of the chapter.
Any thoughts on this? This idea of the stainless mirror, actually it's one that Ibn Arabi uses. And back in old-timey days, mirrors were not silvered glass, they were polished metal. So the idea is, if your flat piece of metal, let's say it's silver, has any kind of stain on it, some tarnish, your reflection isn't clear. So you have to completely polish the metal mirror so that your reflection is clear. So it's the subtle intellect that is this mirror that needs to be made stainless. And it is in the subtle intellect that the insight happens. Oh, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Now, what's a secret? There are two kinds of knowing going on here. The first knowing is the self-evidence of the self. How do you know you are you? You are not unknown. Nobody doubts their existence except the Shunyavadan, The Scholiast of the void, who thunder, I don't exist. And you know you don't exist. Oh, yes, I don't exist. And to whom did this happen? To me. I'm convinced I don't exist. Meaning they have no way to verify. So, Howard, if I were to tell you 5 minutes ago you disappeared for 5 minutes and now you've come back, what would you say?
I'm not aware of that.
Exactly. Because you cannot know your own non-existence. So if something ceases to exist, its only way of being verified is there has to be something that illumines that. So the real teaching of Buddhism is not the non-existence of the ground of being. It's the non-existence, the temporary nature, the illusory nature of the ego sense. But even the most miserable of creatures thunders, I am, I know. They just have all sorts of false identification in the mind. What is the difference between the fool and the jnani? The jnani's mind has been transformed, transfigured. It's no longer a mind in that ordinary sense. Meaning for the fool, when he thinks of himself, he thinks I'm the body plus the personality. But for the jnani, when she thinks of herself, she knows, oh, there's nobody there. There's nothing there. Except that chidakash, that space of pure awareness. Going on, next chapter.
Chapter 32. Life is the Supreme Guru. Life
What say life?
Life.
Okay.
Life itself is the Supreme Guru. Be attentive to its lessons and obedient to its commands. When you personalize their source, you have an outer Guru. When you take them from life directly, the Guru is within. Questioner. We too came from far-off countries. One of us is British, the other American. The world in which we were born is falling apart, and being young, we are concerned. The old people hope they will die their own death, but the young have no such hope. Some of us may refuse to kill, but none can refuse to be killed. Can we hope to set the world right within our lifetime? Maharaj, what makes you think that the world is going to perish? Questioner, the instruments of destruction have become unbelievably potent. Also, our very productivity has become destructive of nature and of our cultural and social values. Maharaj, you are talking of the present times. It has been so everywhere and always. But the distressing situation may be temporary and local. Once over, it will be forgotten. Questioner, the scale of the impending catastrophe is unbelievably large. We live in the midst of an explosion. Maharaj, each man suffers alone and dies alone. Numbers are irrelevant. There is as much death when 1,000,000 die as when one perishes.
And what we need to remember, there have been times in human history that have been as catastrophic as now, if not more so. So back in the 12 and 1300s, when much of the Western world was ravaged by bubonic plague, in some areas of Europe, as much as 3/4 of the population was wiped out through disease. You'd travel through a countryside and there'd be village after village after village, and nobody survived. There's the plague of Justinian, when he was the emperor in the East in the 500s and was going to reconquer the Western Roman Empire. He got as far as Ravenna in Italy. And then plague hit the world. And the whole Roman army and much of Constantinople was completely wiped out. Or going back even further, there are some anthropologists who posit that the entire human race was reduced to about 6,000 people around 65,000 years ago. The volcano that we now call Krakatoa exploded in a huge eruption, and an ash cloud was carried by the trade winds to southern Africa. And the whole human race was destroyed except for about 6,000 people. And they say there's more genetic diversity in a tribe of chimpanzees in the Congo than in the entire human race, which is an indication of what they call a genetic bottleneck. So it's been much worse than it is now. But what Maharaj is saying is suffering is suffering. And whether or not you're Prince Harry suffering because he can't get a protective detail when he goes to Britain, or you're someone starving and being bombed in Gaza, suffering is suffering. And each one of us can escape. We can do some good for some people in the world. The Master Jesus said, the poor will be with you always. As long as people are people. Good positive, a golden age of Satyu comes upon us, things will be better. I don't know, that's way above my pay grade. Any thoughts on this? And there's a very good slogan. You can think globally, but act locally. You may be against wars in Ukraine and wars in the Middle East and wars in Sudan or wherever else in Yemen, but try not to be a violent person with your spouse. Try to return good for evil. Think globally, but act locally. Be part of the solution, not part of it. Going on.
Questioner. Nature kills by the millions, but this does not frighten me. There may be tragedy or mystery in it, but no cruelty. What horrifies me is man-made suffering, destruction, and desolation. Nature is magnificent in its doings and undoings, but there is meanness and madness in the acts of men. Maharaj. Right. So, it is not suffering and death that are your problem, but the meanness and madness at their root.
Yeah.
Is not meanness also a form of madness? And is not madness the misuse of the mind? Humanity's problem lies in the misuse of the mind only. All the treasures of nature and spirit are open to a man who will use his mind rightly. Questioner, what is the right use of the mind? Maharaj, fear and greed cause the misuse of the mind. The right use of the mind is in the service of love, of life, of truth, of beauty. Questioner,
Oh, that is so simple and so important. Whether you or I are a person of realization or not, here is a moral precept that's of value to follow. Would you read that again, that phrase?
fear and greed cause the misuse of the mind. The right use of the mind is in the service of love, of life, of truth, of beauty.
Yeah. Going on.
Questioner, easier said than done. Love of truth, of man, goodwill. What luxury! We need plenty of it to set the world right, but who will provide it? Maharaj, you can spend an eternity looking elsewhere for truth and love, intelligence and goodwill, and imploring God and man, all in vain. You must begin in yourself, with yourself. This is the inexorable law.
Yes.
Not change.
So fighting for peace is an oxymoron. That's like cheating for honesty or fornicating for chastity. Doesn't work. And people are in that place because of their profound spiritual ignorance. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. That's the St. Francis prayer we use. That old New Agey song, let there be peace on earth and let it begin. So some commentators have said that all moral behavior can reduce itself to ahimsa, non-injury. And that means not only toward what we conceive of as others, but towards our own equipment as well. Do you engage in negative self-talk? And he's very right. Greed and fear are the chief motivators of I read once that there are like 4 or 5 places in the planet that can easily produce enough food to feed everyone on Earth. There is no lack of food, yet millions of people starve. Why? Greed and fear. Going on.
You cannot change the image without changing the face. First, realize that your world is only a reflection of yourself, and stop finding fault with the reflection. Attend to yourself. Set yourself right mentally and emotionally. The physical will follow automatically. You talk so much of reforms, economic, social, political. Leave alone the reforms and mind the reformer. What kind of world can a man create who is stupid, greedy, and heartless? Questioner. If we have to wait for a change of heart, we shall have to wait indefinitely. Yours is a counsel of perfection, which is also a counsel of despair. When all are perfect, the world will be perfect. What a useless truism. Maharaj, I did not say that. I only said that you cannot change the world before changing yourself. I did not say before changing everybody. It is neither necessary nor possible to change others, but if you can change yourself, you will find that no other change is needed. To change the picture, you merely change the film. You do not attack the cinema screen. Questioner. How can you be so sure of yourself? How do you know that what you say is true? Maharaj, it is not of myself that I am sure. I am sure of you. All you need is to stop searching outside for what can only be found within. Set your vision right before you operate. You are suffering from acute misapprehension. Clarify your mind, purify your heart, sanctify your life. This is the quickest way to change your world. Question.
Clarify your mind, purify your heart, sanctify your life. Just incredibly good advice. Going on.
Questioner. So many saints and mystics lived and died. They did not change my world. Maharaj, how could they? Your world is not theirs, nor is theirs yours. Questioner. Surely there is a factual world common to all. Maharaj, the world of things, of energy and matter? Even if there were such a common world of things and forces, it is not the world in which we live. Ours is a world of feelings and ideas, of attractions and repulsions, of scales and values, of motives and incentives, a mental world altogether. Biologically, we need very little. Our problems are of a different order. Problems created by desires and fears and wrong ideas can be solved only on the level of the mind. You must conquer your mind, and for this you must go beyond it. Questioner. What does it mean to go beyond the mind? Maharaj. You have gone beyond the body, haven't you? You do not closely follow your digestion, circulation, or elimination. These have become automatic. In the same way, the mind should work automatically without calling for attention. This will not happen unless the mind works faultlessly. Most of our time, we are mind and body conscious because they constantly call for help. Pain and suffering are the only body and the mind. Pain and suffering are only the body and the mind screaming for attention. To go beyond the body, you must be healthy. To go beyond the mind, you must have your mind in perfect order. You cannot leave a mess behind and go beyond. The mess will bog you down. Pick up your rubbish seems to be a universal law, and a just law too. Questioner. Am I permitted to ask you how you went beyond the mind? Maharaj. By the grace of my Guru. Questioner. What shape did his grace take? Maharaj. He told me what is true. Questioner. What did he tell you? Maharaj. He told me I am the supreme reality. Questioner. What did you do about it? Maharaj. I trusted him and remembered it. Questioner. Is that all? Maharaj. Yes. I remembered him. I remembered what he said. Questioner. You mean to say that this was enough? Maharaj. What more needs be done? It was quite a lot to remember the Guru and his words. My advice to you is even less difficult than this. Just remember yourself. I am is enough to heal your mind and take you beyond. Just have some trust. I wouldn't mislead you. Why should I? Do I want anything from you? I wish you well, such is my nature. Why should I mislead you? Common sense, too, will tell you that to fulfill a desire, you must keep your mind on it. If you want to know your true nature, you must have yourself in mind all the time until the secret of your being stands revealed. Questioner: why should self-remembrance bring one to self-realization? Maharaj: because they are but two aspects of the same state. Self-remembrance is in the mind. Self-realization is beyond the mind. The image in the mirror is of the face beyond the mirror. Questioner: fair enough, but what is the purpose? Maharaj: to help others, one must be beyond the need of help. Questioner: all I want is to be happy. Maharaj: be happy to make happy. Questioner: let others take care of themselves. Maharaj: sir, you are not separate. The happiness you cannot share is spurious. Only the shareable is truly desirable. Questioner: right. But do I need a guru? What you tell me is simple and convincing. I shall remember it. This does not make you my guru. Maharaj: it is not the worship of a person that is crucial, but the steadiness and depth of your devotion to the task. Life
Let me
itself.
stop there. So I like to quote Adi Shankara, who says, success in spiritual endeavors is entirely due to the degree of the qualifications of the fit student. Other factors such as time and place, and I would also add guru, while important, are fundamentally secondary. Krishna says a person raises themselves into the self by themselves. The external guru, Swamiji used to say, is a temporary psychological device. A good guru puts himself out of business. He makes his place in the student's life superfluous. Swamiji would say the guru is a midwife. Midwife doesn't birth the baby. The guru is a gardener. He may do some pruning, some weeding, but he does not make the plants grow. And I like to say guru shows up in three ways. There's the temporary appearance of an external teacher. But then I'm sure Maharaj is going to talk about life itself is the guru. If we're paying attention, every single event in my life becomes guru. I hear the buzzing sound of the door next door. If it irritates me, can I drop it? If it doesn't irritate me, can I use it momentarily, just as it plays, to single point my mind? If I go out and the bus is late, what's really going on? Lord, what do you want me to do? Am I here to learn patience? Am I here to serve some other person? Everything in life becomes what Ram Dass called grist for the mill. And eventually, we see Guru. Find out who the Guru is, Swamiji used to say. And we find it's myself. And that thunderous silence, that fullness, that emptiness. Initially, I attributed to the Guru. In fact, my own self-nature. Going on.
Life itself is the supreme Guru. Be attentive to its lessons and obedient to its commands. When you personalize their source, you have an outer Guru. When you take them from life directly, the Guru is within. Remember, wonder, ponder, live with it, love it, grow into it, grow with it, make it your own. The word of your Guru, outer or inner. Put in all and you will get all. I was doing it. All the time I gave to my Guru and to what he told me.
So let me give you a slogan that I find most useful. It's a spiritual axiom that if I am disturbed, no matter the cause, I'm the one with the klesha, the defect, the defilement, the attachment, the aversion, the identification. It's never, ever, ever out there. Well, if somebody cheats me, don't I have a right to be angry? You can do whatever you want. Notice I did not say that the world and its people are not frequently wrong, stupid, unjust. But if I'm disturbed, I have a problem. And I will have no peace of mind until I give up the notion that the solution is to fix the world. And all I have to do, if you've been doing that, is say, how's that working out for you? It's a famous saying from Yoga Vasishtha. Why try to cover the world in leather when you can wear shoes? So that is how the world becomes Guru. Next, going on, next idea.
Questioner. I am a writer by profession. Can you give some advice for me specifically? Maharaj. Writing is both a talent and a skill. Grow in talent and develop in skill. Desire what is worth desiring and desire it well. Just as you pick your way in a crowd, passing between people, so you find your way between events without missing your general direction. It is easy if you are earnest. Questioner. So many times you mention the need of being earnest, but we are not men of single will. We are congeries of desires and needs, instincts and promptings. They crawl all over each other, sometimes one, sometimes another dominating, but never for long. Maharaj. There are no needs, only desires. Questioner. To eat, to drink, to shelter one's body, to live? Maharaj. The desire to live is the one fundamental desire. All else depends on it. Questioner.
And by live here, he means the survival of the human body.
Questioner. We live because we must. Maharaj. We live because we crave sensory existence. Questioner. A thing so universal cannot be wrong. Maharaj. Not wrong, of course. In its own place and time, nothing is wrong. But when you are concerned with truth, with reality, you must question everything, your very life. By asserting the necessity of sensory and intellectual experience, you narrow down your inquiry to a search for comfort. Questioner. I seek happiness, not comfort. Maharaj. Beyond comfort of mind and body, what happiness do you know? Questioner. Is there any other? Maharaj. Find out for yourself. Question every urge. Hold no desire legitimate. Empty of possession, physical and mental, free of all self-concern, be open for discovery.
Yes. Going on.
Questioner. It is a part of Indian spiritual tradition that merely living in the proximity of a sage or saint is conducive to liberation, and no other means are needed. Why don't you organize an ashram so that people can live near you? Maharaj. The moment I create an institution, I become its prisoner. As a matter of fact, I am available to all. A common roof and food will not make people more welcome. Living near does not mean breathing the same air. It means trusting and obeying, and not letting good intentions of the teacher go to waste. Have your Guru always in your heart and remember his instructions. This is real abidance with the true. Physical proximity is the least important thing. Make your entire life an expression of your faith and love for your teacher. This is real dwelling with the Guru.
So my own personal experience. I would see Swamiji once a year, sometimes once every other year. I only went to India to be with Swamiji once in 1988. All the rest of my sadhana was done here. And the vast majority of it was done without the physical presence of the Guru. We would go to the camps in the summer. He would be here for a couple of weeks long. So it kept us from becoming falsely dependent on his physical presence. But he would say, use the Guru. He would say he could be on the other side of the world, but all we had to do was think of him. Tune up to him. Any thoughts on this? Going on.
Chapter 33. To see the unreal is wisdom. To a jnani, nothing has a beginning or an ending. As salt dissolves in water, so does everything dissolve into pure being. Wisdom is eternally negating the unreal. To see the unreal is wisdom. Questioner. Does a jnani die? Maharaj, he is beyond life and death. What we take to be inevitable, to be born and to die, appears to him but a way of expressing movement in the immovable, change in the changeless, end in the endless. To the Jnani, it is obvious that nothing is born and nothing dies, nothing lasts and nothing changes. All is as it is, timelessly. Questioner, you say the Jnani is beyond. Beyond what? Beyond knowledge? Maharaj, knowledge has its rising and setting. Consciousness comes into being and goes out of being. It is a matter of daily occurrence and observation. We all know that sometimes we are conscious and sometimes not. When we are not conscious, it appears to us as a darkness or a blank. But a Jnani is aware of himself as neither conscious nor unconscious, but purely aware, a witness to the three states of the mind and their contents. Questioner, when does this witnessing begin? Maharaj, to a Jnani, nothing has a beginning or an ending. As salt dissolves in water, so does everything dissolve into pure being. Wisdom is eternally negating the unreal. To see the unreal is wisdom. Beyond this lies the inexpressible. Questioner, there is in me the conviction I am the body. Granted, I am talking from unwisdom. But the state of feeling oneself to be the body-mind, the mind-body, or even pure mind, when did it all begin? Maharaj, you cannot speak of a beginning of consciousness. The very idea of beginning and time are within consciousness. To talk meaningfully of the beginning of anything, you must step out of it. And the moment you
So the easiest way to understand this is again to go to the dream state. A dream is beginningless. If I stand outside the dream, if Howard were to lie down on the couch and take a nap, and I were to look over at him and I would see his eyeballs moving under his eyelids, I would say, oh, rapid eye movement. Howard's dreaming. But inside, we have no experience of the beginning of the dream. It's just going on with an unexamined, assumed logical past. It's not like rolling the credits at the beginning of a movie. So ignorance itself is beginningless. Now listen carefully. You can be here in class. We can be going through one of these profound texts. And it's so clear. Oh, I am that space of pure awareness. And then you get up and you leave, and sometime on the way to your car, ignorance comes down, and we never see it. Then all of a sudden, I'm Jim, I'm Howard, I'm Aditi, I'm Mark. And my assumption is it's always been that way. Even though my direct experience was 20 minutes earlier, I was here in class. Jim and Howard disappeared. Brahman is who I am. So this is the hardest thing to catch. How do I know I'm caught up in the dream of egoism? And that's why I thunder this over and over and over. If I think I'm a person, I'm deluded. No personal sense of self is real. everything the mind presents is solution. Once I'm caught up in the illusion of jiva bhavana, thinking I'm a person, is all rooted in ignorance. So what do I do once I remember, oh, wait a minute, no personal sense of self is real? Then remember who you are and watch your problems evaporate. Any thoughts or questions about this? Going on.
To talk meaningfully of the beginning of anything, you must step out of it. And the moment you step out, you realize there is no such thing and never was. There is only reality, in which no thing has any being on its own. Just as waves are inseparable from the ocean, so is all existence rooted in being. Questioner, the fact is that here and now I am asking you, when did the feeling I am the body arise? At my birth? This morning? Maharaj, now. Questioner, but I remember having it yesterday too. Maharaj, but the memory of yesterday is now only. Questioner, but surely I exist in time. I have a past and a future. Maharaj, that is how you imagine. Now. Questioner, there must have been a beginning. Maharaj, now. And what about ending? Maharaj, what has no beginning cannot end. Questioner, but I am conscious of my question. Maharaj, a false question cannot be answered. It can only be seen as false. Maharaj, to me it is real. Maharaj, when did it appear real to you? Now? Questioner, yes, it is quite real to me now.
So let's stop there a moment. The image I like to use, if I think I am Jim, I'm a person, and I must go from being this miserable creature to a better creature, meaning the world is behaving and I've been transformed. That is like when the hologram appears. I always think of Star Wars, when R2-D2 projects the hologram of Princess Leia. And you could not take a sword and smash Princess Leia because there's nothing substantial there. All you can do is push the button and have R2-D2 stop projecting the hologram. But seeing the hologram doesn't have to be problematic if you know what it is. Pass your hand through it because it's not substantial. Going on.
Questioner, Maharaj. What is real about your question? It is a state of mind. No state of mind can be more real than the mind itself. Is the mind real? It is but a collection of states, each of them transitory. How can a succession of transitory states be considered real? Questioner, Like beads on a string, events follow events forever. Maharaj. They are all strung on the basic idea, I am the body. But even this is a mental state and does not last. It comes and goes like all other states. The illusion of being the body-mind is there only because it is not investigated. Non-investigation is the thread on which all the states of mind are strung. It is like darkness in a closed room. It is there, apparently, but when the room is opened, where does it go? It goes nowhere because it was not there. All states of mind, all names and forms of existence are rooted in non-inquiry, non-investigation, in imagination and credulity. It is right to say, I am, but to say, I am this, I am that, is a sign of not inquiring, of not examining, of mental weakness or lethargy. Questioner. If all is light, how did darkness arise? How can there be darkness in the midst of light? Maharaj. There is no darkness in the midst of light. Self-forgetfulness is the darkness. When we are absorbed in other things, in the not-self, we forget the self. There is nothing unnatural about it. But why forget the self through excess of attachment? Wisdom lies in never forgetting the self as the ever-present source of both the experiencer and his experience. Questioner. In my present state, the I am the body idea comes spontaneously, while the I am pure being idea must be imposed on the mind as something true but not experience. Maharaj. Yes, sadhana, practice, consists in reminding oneself forcibly of one's pure beingness, of not being anything in particular.
So let's stop there. Understand that Jiva Bhavana, this feeling that I'm a person, is really in the end nothing more than a habit. But these habits rule us. And there's no trick. It's about, first of all, through faith, hearing the truth. Tatvamasi, you are that. And then going from paroksha jnanam, indirect knowledge, to direct experience of paroksha jnana in the depth of our own meditation. More than once, whatever it takes to uproot the habit. I'm the body plus the personality. No, not that. Space of pure awareness. Till I uproot the greed, the craving of the mind, till I'm convinced, Chidananda Rupaham, my nature is bliss consciousness. And I can begin Atmaramana to revel in the self. So the mind finds something real to enjoy. Brahmananda Rasa, the juice of my own bliss. Going on.
Sadhana practice consists in reminding oneself forcibly of one's pure beingness, of not being anything in particular, nor a sum of particulars, nor even the totality of all particulars which make up a universe. All exists in the mind. Even the body is an integration in the mind of a vast number of sensory perceptions, and each perception is also a mental state. If you say, I am the body, prove it. Questioner, here it is. Maharaj, only when you think of it. Both mind and body are intermittent states. The sum total of these flashes creates the illusion of existence. Inquire what is permanent in the transient, real in the unreal. This is sadhana. Questioner, the fact is that I am thinking of myself as the body. Maharaj, think of yourself by all means. Only don't bring the idea of a body into the picture. There is only a stream of sensations, perceptions, memories, and ideas. The body is an abstraction, created by our tendency to seek unity in diversity, which again is not wrong. Questioner, I am being told that to think I am the body is a blemish in the mind. Maharaj, why talk like this? Such expressions create problems. The self.
So let's stop there. I think, again, go back to Shankara. I think the easiest way to hold it is Shankara's Drikdrishya Vivek, this discrimination between the seer and the seen. So if you do something just as simple as take a deep breath, do you not know the breath in the body? Do you have an ache or a pain or a sensation? Maybe you need to go pee. Do you not know this? So whether you seek to see it all as one body or a bunch of sensations, as he's talked about, whatever it is, it's always objective phenomena. Who knows these sensations? Look at your hands. I know my hands. Same way I know the bowl on the table. Sounds outside. Yes, but if I hit the table with a hammer, it doesn't hurt. When I am hit in my body, I feel pain. Yeah. But that's still just a known objective sensation. Certainly grabs our attention. But Deha Vasana, the deeply rooted impression that I am the body, is the Bija Vasana. It's the seed attachment from which all else, in fact, proceeds, and the most difficult to root out. Body identification is not evil, it's just wrong. 2 + 2 = 5 is not evil, it's not bad, it's just incorrect. All right, going on.
Maharaj, why talk like this? Such expressions create problems. The self is the source of all, and of all, the final destination. Nothing is external. Questioner, when the body idea becomes obsessive, is it not altogether wrong? Maharaj, There is nothing wrong with the idea of a body, or even with the idea I am the body. But limiting oneself to only one body is a mistake. In reality, all existence, every form is my own, and within my consciousness. I cannot tell what I am because words can describe only what I am not. I am, and because I am, all is. But I am beyond consciousness, and therefore, in consciousness, I cannot say what I am. Yet, I am. The question, who am I, has no answer. No experience can answer it, for the self is beyond experience. Questioner. Still, the question, who am I, must be of some use. Maharaj. It has no answer in consciousness, and therefore helps to go beyond consciousness. Questioner. Here I am, in the present moment. What is real in it, and what is not? Now please don't tell me that my question is wrong. Questioning my questions leads me nowhere. Maharaj. Your question is not wrong. It is unnecessary. You said, here and now I am. Stop there. This is real. Don't turn a fact into a question. There lies your mistake. You are neither knowing nor not knowing, neither mind nor matter. Don't attempt to describe yourselves in terms of mind and matter.
So the Master Jesus would say, in a moment when ye take no thought. Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter says, when the mind stands immovable by what has been heard and what has not been heard. So it's not about reading a bunch of books and saying, yes, I can tell you chapter and verse what scripture says about the self, as if it's something that's flying around above us. When the mind becomes stupefied, a moment of awe. What remains. Going on.
Questioner. Just now, a boy came to you with a problem. You told him a few words, and he went away. Did you help him? Maharaj. Of course. Questioner. How can you be so sure? Maharaj. To help is my nature. Questioner. How did you come to know it? Maharaj. No need to know. It operates by itself. Questioner. Still, you made a statement. On what was it based? Maharaj. On what people tell me. But it is you who asks for proofs. I do not need them. Setting things right lies in my very nature, which is Satyam Shivam Sundaram, the true, the good, the beautiful. Questioner. When a man comes to you for advice and you give him advice, from where does it come and by what power does it help? Maharaj. His own being affects his mind and induces a response. Questioner. And what is your role? Maharaj. In me, the man and his self come together. Questioner. But why does not the self help the man without you? Maharaj. But I am the self. You imagine me as separate, hence your question. There is no my self and his self. There is the self, the only self of all. Misled by the diversity of names and shapes, minds and bodies, you imagine multiple selves. We both are the self, but you seem to be unconvinced. This talk of personal self and universal self is the learner's stage. Go beyond. Don't be stuck in duality. Questioner. Let us come back to the man in need of help. He comes to you. Maharaj. If he comes, he is sure to get help. He came because he was destined to get help. Be fanciful about it. I cannot help some and refuse others. All who come are helped, for such is the law. The shape that the help takes varies according to the need. Questioner. Why must he come here to get advice? Can't he get it from within? Maharaj. He will not listen. His mind is turned outward. But in fact, all experience is in the mind, and even his coming to me and getting help is all within himself. Instead of finding an answer within himself, he imagines an answer from without. To me, there is no me, no man, and no giving. All this is merely a flicker in the mind. I am infinite, perfect. I am infinite peace and silence in which nothing appears. For all that appears disappears. Nobody comes for help. Nobody offers help. Nobody gets help. It is all but a display in consciousness. Questioner. Yet the power to help is there, and there is somebody or something that displays that power. Call it God or self or the universal mind. The name does not matter, but the fact does. Maharaj. This is the stand the body-mind takes. The pure mind sees things as they are, bubbles in consciousness. Bubbles are appearing, disappearing, and reappearing, without having real being. No particular cause can be ascribed to them, for each is caused by all and affects all. Each bubble is a body, and all these bodies are mine.
So we need to stop. It's noon. How much are we close to the end of the chapter?
No.
All right. So we'll pick it up here next week.
That's-
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you all. Thank you all. You all. You all. You all. You all. Jim, I can't go to lunch.